So we've got quite a bit of Doctor Who news from this past week. We don't have any like huge, massive, all-encompassing stories. We've just got a lot of little stories, a lot of little topics. So we'll just go through them one at a time. Firstly, in the world of Doctor Who fan films, friend of the live stream, Doctor Who Velocity, have posted an update on their YouTube channel, something I think is really, really interesting. So they've got one of their actors, let's get rid of Colin Baker, sorry. So one of their actors is called Dylan, who has been in a couple of their episodes of their fan series Doctor Who Velocity, and they've had this update regarding Dylan and what's happened to him recently. Let's take a look.
Brace yourself for an amazing Doctor Who fan film story. One night, a young man is hit by a semi-truck.
A hit-and-run car accident in Macon last month left a Warner Robins man paralyzed in the hospital.
With a broken neck, he's got a 1% chance of survival. For months, he's on a ventilator in hospital.
Now he can only communicate by blinking his eyes to yes or no questions.
Then a doctor performs a risky operation to give him robot lungs, transforming him into a literal Cyberman. It sounds far-fetched, right? But no, this is the real-life story of our actor and friend, Dylan Wood. And guess what? He's back in a new episode of our fan series, Doctor Who Velocity.
What's up, Dylan?
Hey, nothing much. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. How's it feel to be back at it?
Oh, it feels great, man. I'm really excited.
There's something about you that's different from last time.
Well, I did just get a new haircut.
You're going to be doing some fourth dimensional kung fu on the Cybermen.
Just the usual week for Doctor Who. Feel like we got the action in there and also some of the heart. Gonna be great.
So this guy has been in a bunch of like Doctor Who Velocity episodes, but now after an incredible car accident, or incredible damaging car accident as well, and like being on life support and everything, is going to be in the next episode of Doctor Who Velocity. Now, what Doctor Who Velocity do, they've got so much like special effects and a lot of it's filmed on green screen, is that they can actually just have Dylan be like stationary and they can put him in a spacesuit like this one, which I think is like a really cool inventive way to bring Dylan like back into the series and accommodate his physical needs as well. As you can see, he's in a wheelchair. He's partially paralyzed as well. So yeah, I think this is really, really awesome. Also, for those of you who maybe have been keeping up to date with Doctor Who Velocity canon, the Velocity Doctor is now hatless, whereas the next Doctor, I should say, Ncuti Gatwa, now has a hat. So we're going to be doing these weekly installments of who has a hat and who doesn't have a hat. Velocity Doctor is hatless. 15th Doctor has a hat. There we go. See you folks same time next week.
Also some of the heart. Gonna be great. Sweet. Yeah, I'm ready to kick some butt. Hello, everybody. My name is Dylan Wood, and I'll be reprising my role as Jeremy Butler. Very, very excited to see how this one goes. Ready to kick some Cyberman ass, dude. That's really, really cool. And yeah, she did rock that. I'm going to miss the hat, but you know, times must change, and so must the Velocity Doctor, apparently so. But yeah, I thought that was just really, really cool. Really cool update from friends of the live stream, Doctor Who Velocity. Also, speaking of impending changes, we've got the 40th anniversary edition of The Five Doctors, which is going to be screened at the BFI as part of the promotional campaign for the Season 20 collection box set. This is Justin Johnson, who is a frequent moderator, panel host at the BFI, at the South Bank screenings that they've been doing for these collection sets, and also the animated collections and their steelbook and home media releases. The Season 20 event is The Five Doctors, Saturday the 16th of September at 12 p.m. at the BFI. Excited to be joined by Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, and David Banks, Cyber Leader. Excellent. There will be a paid signing afterwards too. BBC Studios and BBC Doctor Who are tagged as well. Tickets on sale to BFI members on the 8th of August, and to everyone else, general sale on the 10th of August. So basically, if you want to become a BFI member, it costs like £30 or £40 for an annual membership. So, you know, if you're super dedicated to all of these Doctor Who screenings, it might be worth doing. But yeah, because I remember the last screening they did for the Sea Devils, those sold out like immediately. As soon as they went on sale to the members, they like immediately sold out, which is very frustrating. But I'm going to try and get tickets, and if I do, I'll hopefully see you folks there on the 16th of September at the BFI to watch the 40th anniversary edition of the 20th anniversary story, The Five Doctors. Next up, last week, or was it the week before, we looked at the placeholder cover for the upcoming Doctor Who Cybermen Ultimate Comic Strip Collection, and the vibes from the chat, not very positive. They weren't particularly enamored or particularly impressed by this cover. Well,
they actually have a new proper cover as well. And it looks extraordinary. So you've got, I think this is Anthony Lamb who has put this cover together. These are the Flood Cybermen. We covered the Flood story in Cybersember, the Doctor Who magazine comic strip with the 8th Doctor. We've got the Earthshock Cybermen as well. And in the back here, just barely eking in a little appearance, is Kroton. Now, for you folks who do not know who Kroton is a Cyberman from the 8th Doctor comic strips who became a companion, who is one of the coolest ideas for a companion or like just a general Doctor Who creation ever. And I love Kroton, and I'm really looking forward to this comic strip collection because those like Kroton sets and basically the Doctor Who magazine comic strips, like trades in general, are pretty rare and very expensive. You can pre-order this now from Amazon or Forbidden Planet. This is the Ultimate Comic Strip Collection, which comes out in a couple of months' time. Next up, in terms of just general Doctor Who promotion, there's been a lot of stuff happening over the past week. We've got the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine, which went on sale last week. This has also got the 10th and 11th Doctor 60th anniversary poll rankings as well. Got a segment on The Girl Who Waited. They've also got some stuff talking about the latest season 20 trailer, Earthshock, Liberation of the Daleks, that 14th Doctor comic strip story continues. And then they dropped a bunch of posters for San Diego Comic-Con, or at least in anticipation for San Diego Comic-Con. You've got Donna Noble here, played by Catherine Tate, the 14th Doctor, played by David Tennant, with the obscured Sonic Screwdriver. We'll get to that in a moment. Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday here as well, and Ncuti Gatwa, the Chad himself, as the 15th Doctor, and also Ken, but we'll talk about that another time. And then, shortly before San Diego Comic-Con kicked off, we got this video, which is on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. So let's give it a quick play. Actually, I'm very worried that I'm going to get like Content ID claimed for the music as well. So let's just get to the big reveal. Here we go. The 14th Doctor's Sonic Screwdriver. I'm just so worried about the music, because this is Murray Gold's 60th anniversary music, or at least it was from the trailer. So anyway, here we go. Sonic Screwdriver, bam, looks very, very cool. Real question, is that Murray Gold's music? It's definitely the trailer music. I find this video hilarious. It's so corny that it circles around to be corny as hell again. Yeah, it's like they're doing a car advert that you'd see before a cinema. So I respect the ambition of it, but this is the new 14th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver that he's going to be using for the 60th anniversary. I hope that Ncuti Gatwa, as the 15th Doctor, is going to be getting his own Sonic Screwdriver, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. Here's a proper photo of it as well. Find out more on the BBC Doctor Who website. Don't mind if I do. Here's your first look at the Sonic Screwdriver. So, I'm not a, prop completionist. I can't tell you all of the inspirations and all of the things that I've gone into the screwdriver, with the exception of, I think the base is like 11th Doctor-y, especially like the prongs that are coming out, very 11th Doctor. This is like a thickened, girthier version of the 9th and 10th Doctor screwdriver with like the coral-inspired patterning as well. Gives a set of really, really cool inspirations. We scroll up as well further and see that Character Options almost immediately put it for sale on their website. RRP is $29.99 as well. And the moment that this went live to purchase on the Character Options website, the website's crashed. And genuinely, just to get on the website, not necessarily to buy anything, just to go onto the Character Options website, it would put you in a waiting room. And when I went on it, I had to wait 25 minutes in a queue of people just to get on the website for Character Options. Not even just to get to this page to buy a Sonic Screwdriver. Just the Doctor Who fans shut down the Character Options online store. So this is an online exclusive San Diego Comic-Con exclusive as well. 14th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver, RRP'd for $29.99, which is a bit much, but keep in mind you also get free delivery on it as well. And this sold out within about an hour. The Character Options then released a statement shortly after it sold out, saying that they did not anticipate such demand, their servers did not anticipate such demand, and they're going to be getting another batch of online exclusive 14th Doctor Sonic Screwdrivers. I would have purchased this, except I was a few days away from payday before I couldn't afford the 30 quid in order to buy the sonic screwdriver. People who bought it during that hour-long window have already received it. I've already been doing unboxings and stuff. I know that Review of Death, Batman March, did a unboxing and a review as soon as this was revealed. I'm assuming he got a review copy. He got early access to it, which is really, really cool. So yeah, keep an eye out on the Character Toys UK Twitter account, on the Doctor Who Twitter account and social medias for when the new batch of 14th Doctor sonic screwdrivers become available to order again. So the sonic screwdriver was on display at San Diego Comic-Con. People were talking about it. People were giving their reactions and responses to it as well. And then this Doomsday trailer dropped, which got ratioed by Tharies because people were so unimpressed by it. We'll talk about this next week. I was going to talk about all the Doomsday stuff today on this live stream, but issue 2 of the Doomsday Titan comic series got pushed back a couple of days. It got delayed by a couple of days, so I've not received it yet. Otherwise, I would have talked about Doomsday and the first 8 or 9 hours of the story this week. We'll talk about this next week. And yeah, this was Doctor Who's San Diego Comic-Con presence. They had a merch stand, some new shirts, mugs, badges, etc. with the new 60th anniversary Series 14, Series 15 branding at Comic-Con. The new character posters of Tennant, Gatwa, Tate and Gibson on display as well, looking glorious there. The outfits for the 14th and the 15th Doctor. And some fans eagerly anticipating getting their hands on the 14th Doctor's sonic screwdriver at Comic-Con. And yeah, that's kind of about it in terms of Doctor Who news from this week. I know that some people who weren't particularly enamoured with the 14th, that weren't particularly enamoured with the 15th Doctor's costume when it was seen on location, thinking it was a bit too plasticky, a bit too artificial and strange, are really vibing with it now that they've seen it in this poster. Oh, bit of chest hair as well. Oh, the 15th Doctor's really showing off. I feel represented as a Doctor Who fan with chest hair. Anyway, and now that they're looking at this image now, this character poster, they're a lot happier with this outfit. It looks really, really cool. Well, they also showed some of the Magic cards. Yes, they did actually. Thank you for reminding me. Magic the Gathering Doctor Who. They showed off some brand new... I actually did get in touch with Wizards of the Coast and were like, hey, do you want to collaborate? And they've not responded, which is very sad. Makes me very, very sad. This is from the Nerdgasm website. This is from Magic the Gathering's new Doctor Who set. We've got some Rose Tyler artwork here, which looks absolutely gorgeous. We've got Midlife Crisis 12th Doctor riding the tank with the electric guitar. There's a clearer photo of Auntie Lamb's Twitter, see Discord. Oh, cool, I'll take a look. We've got K9, presumably going to fight Omega in the movie that never happened. And yeah, I've seen a few other photos as well. There was a really good 13th Doctor bit of artwork. So here's Adric by the keyboard in Earthshock before it's about to crash into Earth. K9. Here we go. 3rd Doctor, sonic screwdriver. 5th Doctor, regenerating and seeing the vestiges of his companions. Here's the 1st Doctor, who seems to be very, very happy, having presumably committed arson inside of the TARDIS. I don't know what's going on there. Here's Sharda as well. Not Sharda, sorry. Here's City of Death. Alien Insects. Rose Tyler. The 4 Nox. Here's Wilfred on the outside of the radiation chamber as the 10th Doctor dies. Here's Van Gogh in the museum with really cool Van Gogh-inspired watercolour pictures as, Bill Nighy and Karen Gillan and Matt Smith are there in the background. The War Doctor with the Moment. The Face of Bo with Novice Haim from Gridlock. Here is Prisoner Zero and the Atraxi with the 11th Doctor, Amy Pond and Amelia Pond, an 11th hour homage. Bad Wolf Bay, Fish Fingers and Custard Food, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 lives. Here's Yasmin Khan. I think this is the Battle of Ranskorav Kolos. That would require me to remember stuff from the Battle of Ranskorav Kolos. Mummy and the Orient Express. Me in Hellbent, 12th Doctor. Here we go. Here's the artwork as well for the 13th Doctor one. Yasmin Khan and Dan Lewis running away from some Daleks with a big clock face in the background. Here's a Doctor Who Flux artwork as well, 13th Doctor, with... what are their names again? Swarm and Azure. I forgot their names. Fixed Point in Time, that's a Face the Raven artwork. Here's the Fob Watch from Flux. Exterminate. Vashta Narada. The Valyard, that's very cool. Weeping Angels. The Master Race inside of the... What was the thing called? They referenced it in the Wedding of Sarah Jane. The gate? The gateway? I can't remember. Anyway, here's Missy with all of the Cybermen in the graveyard in Dark Water and Death in Heaven. Here is presumably Cyberbrig and the Immortality Gate, something like that. Here's Missy with, I'm assuming that's Cyberbrig. The Doctor's Tomb. Just a Dalek. And yeah, those look so cool. Yeah, honestly, there's some amazing artwork here. Also this week, Demon Records, in collaboration with BBC Studios, revealed a brand new Tom Baker vinyl collection. Demon Records announced a special vinyl collection to be released celebrating the 4th Doctor as played by Tom Baker, limited to just 600 and each including a signed print from Tom Baker. The collection celebrates Tom Baker's unique portrayal of the Time Lord. This limited edition 4LP vinyl box set mixes thrilling audio dramas with interviews and readings by the man himself. And they released this cover art. It looks very, very cool, these 4 LPs. If you are a vinyl collector and you want some cool Doctor Who artwork, that's very, very cool. Now, the BBC Twitter account also did a post celebrating this release, which has since been deleted. What happened? So, the 4th Doctor Daleks, the Genesis of the Daleks set here, these ones here, these are actually renders from the Pridonian, James Johnson, on Twitter. These are the Daleks with the watermark on the bottom left. See? Even if they've been maybe shinied up a little bit, these are undeniably the same renders. And there was no credit, no permission was asked for. Demon Records, or whoever was doing the artwork, basically, I'll say Demon Records because the book kind of stops with them to check these things, stole a fan's artwork and put it on this vinyl collection set for profit. Now, the problem here is that, well, I say problem, it's a problem that Demon Records got themselves into. I don't have much sympathy here. Is that these are meant to be limited edition sets that Tom Baker signs. You can't just release 600 sets and then reprint them if Tom Baker has already signed them. You need to reprint them, get Tom Baker to re-sign all 600 of these sets, and then release them again. All because they stole artwork from a Twitter user, which is not good form. So it was very, very quick that James Johnson pointed this out. Doctor Who Twitter rallied behind them. Over 40,000 people saw this tweet as well, which it seems like a lot when you consider that this is meant to be a 600 limited edition vinyl for Doctor Who fans. Now, the set is going to be released on the 15th of September. I would not be surprised if that was delayed, because now that the artist or whoever was responsible for this has been rumbled, we'll have to come up with either steal from somebody else or come up with more original Dalek designs. So yeah, I hope that if they want to use those renders, that's absolutely fine. They just have to, compensate and credit the artist. James Johnson, I hope that if they want to avoid having to reprint and re-sign this stuff, they better cut James a pretty big check. Tom Baker does not approve, clearly. Would it not just be easier to license the image? Maybe, but after stealing somebody's artwork and uncrediting them for profit, James is completely within his right to just say, no, I don't approve this. No, reprint them. Get Tom Baker to sign them. You got into this mess. I'm not helping you get out of it. Also in other news, speaking of support, there was a Blue Heritage plaque dedicated to Patrick Troughton. It was unveiled at a ceremony at the Mill Hill School in North London. It was organised by the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. The theatre has been named after the actor, the Patrick Troughton Theatre. He was a student there in 1931. A load of people turned up to this event. You had Michael Troughton here as well. You had Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, Carol Ann Ford, Michael Jaston, loads of others as well appearing. So yeah, and that's also Joanna Troughton, Patrick Troughton's daughter as well, came to this event to commemorate this plaque. Patrick Troughton, 1920 to 1987, film and television actor, studied here at the Mill Hill School. This is a plaque from the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. Really, really cool. It was lovely to see all of the photos on social media of all of these actors showing their respect and their adoration for an actor who, were it not for Patrick Troughton, I forgot who said it. It was in one of the Big Finish behind the scenes from this past week, one of their interviews, saying that the two most important doctors in the show's history are Patrick Troughton and Christopher Eccleston. Not necessarily because they were like the trailblazers or the first or the most iconic or the most well-revered necessarily, but because Patrick Troughton proved that regeneration could work. Christopher Eccleston revitalized the show for a new audience and a new century for a new generation. Without Patrick Troughton and Christopher Eccleston, you don't have the show's longevity. A limited number of reproduction Patrick Troughton mini plaques will be available to purchase soon from the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. So if you wanted your own little Patrick Troughton panel, your little plaque, you can get one apparently. This is a lot of empty wall space. I could maybe do with that. Personally, as far as the artist house, so it's complex emotions. I can, of course, only speak for myself. I'm not going to speak on behalf of the Pridonian here. That's not my place. But yes, be flattered that your artwork and your renders were good enough for Demon Records and the BBC to steal. Okay? There's got to be a little bit of flattery there. It's still stealing, though. That flattery has a ceiling. You're right, Theo. Because we've been painting around the water leak from the other month, we've been painting, we've taken the blinds away, so Theo and Winnie have had like a clear, unobstructed view of outside the side window. So yeah. Boop, boop. There we go, see, he's licking my finger. He's a very good boy. He is. He just keeps on annoying his sister Winnie, and she keeps on fighting him. Theo has never won a fight against Winnie. Never. It's never happened. He started like 90% of the fights, and he's lost 100% of them.